Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video we are going to talk about your United States government and their national debt that we are 32 plus trillion known, okay? You know, some say it's more like upwards of 200 trillion when everything is included in, of currency collapsing debt, but that doesn't stop your government from continuing to just shell out millions, to boost their agenda, even though a lot of these companies go belly up. Okay, right here, this is a Daily Caller article, June 27th, 2023. That was yesterday. And electrical vehicle maker Lordstown Motors, LMC, announced it was filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, despite receiving millions in taxpayer funding through tax breaks and grants. And, they received $4.5 million from Jobs Ohio, a private nonprofit that collects funds through a government-mandated monopoly on spirituous liquor sales. So, liquor sale taxes through a private nonprofit? I'm not sure exactly what government-mandated funds that collects funds through a government-mandated monopoly on spirituous liquor sales. So that sounds like taxes. So taxes from liquor sales are going to fund private investments in companies that the occupation has an agenda for. So, occupations go down to state levels too. But according to Cleveland.com, they also got $20 million in tax credits to be paid out over 15 years by the Ohio Tax Credit Authority. And they also received a $40 million loan from the previous owner of the plant, General Motors, who received $60 million in subsidies from the state of Ohio, giving back only $28 million after a settlement was reached due to the stipulation that the plant was supposed to be open until 2039. In 2009, the plant received $60 million from Ohio to build fuel-efficient and inexpensive cars when it was under the ownership of General Motors, but it was shut down in 2019 and sold by General Motors to this LMC, Lordstown Motor Corp. And then Foxconn, Foxconn, which is a multinational electronics manufacturer, said that it was investing $170 million in LMC in 2021 to build and fund the plant, which LMC alleges was not fully delivered, prompting the filing of the Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So, they say, despite our best efforts and earnest commitment to the partnership, this basically isn't happening. So, they say Chapter 11 is the only viable option to maximize the value of Lordstown assets for the benefit of their stakeholders. So Foxconn denied the allegations, but here we are, a company that has received how much from the taxpayers now is only really interested in the benefit of their stakeholders. And all of this tax money and tax credits and spirituous liquor sales through funds collected on them sounds like taxes. So people's hard-earned money that they have to hand over if they want to buy some liquor goes to fund private companies that then just go bankrupt. Okay? This is your government at work for you. And right here, they say that other automotive manufacturers have also received huge subsidies from the government for electronic vehicle vehicle production, Ford Motor Company plans to lay off at least 1,000 employees, according to the Wall Street Journal, less than a week after receiving $9.2 billion loan from the occupation to invest in 3 electric vehicle factories in the southern U.S. They get $9.2 billion, and what they do with it is they lay off 1,000 employees. So, this occupation just keeps handing out money and money and money to go for their agenda. This has been going on for a while. Right here, back in 2011, they put a lot of money into Solandra, which was a solar panel maker, and it received $535 million in federal loan guarantees, but it filed for bankruptcy. Right there, that's a September 6th, 2011 article. Here's another one right here. It says, yep, it shuts down and it lays off. 1100, August 31st, 2011. And this was promoted massively by Barack. He went out there. Here is some of what he had to say. And he talks about, government, private companies should lead innovation, but government needs to be there with them. No, they don't. Government should have absolutely no say in how the free market goes. Okay. They should not be investing in it. That's not government's business. It's just government, has taken one step outside of their boundary and nobody said anything. Then they took another, and now we are a million steps outside of the boundaries that government was actually expected to do. And so now we just have your government continuing to invest in businesses that get a lot of hard working, and you can't even say that this is actual tax dollars. Why? Because we are in currency collapsing debt. This isn't even actual dollars that was just burned. This is debt plus interest on the debt. Okay? And interest rates are rising. People in the independent media, environmental voices out there have said for years that, interest rates are so low because we can't afford to pay interest on our debt. And now interest rates are rising, so it's taking up a bigger part of the taxes that the government's collecting. And so all of the debt that has accumulated to this 32 plus trillion, which they say is more like 200 trillion, that has interest on it. And what are we doing all of this interest for? For companies that go bankrupt. So the government should not be in business of driving their agenda. That is what the private market does. And if the private market were smart, and if government were smart, oh, that's right. What would we have done? Well, you know what? We would have actually done what Barack said we needed to, in this quote here. We would, go back to basics. Right here. He says, we've got to go back to basics, go back to, making things, and, back to innovation, but what we need to do is, go back to basics. And if we just ended our disposable society, imagine if we just utilized hemp. These other industries wouldn't even need to be here. We would be talking about hemp cars. We wouldn't have failed electric vehicle cars. Okay, so this is all ridiculous. And these companies, this agenda isn't achieving. It's not going to achieve. They won't allow achievement. Not even Bobby Kennedy. Okay, and what is it doing? Oh, that's right. It is getting us in currency collapsing debt. So this was just right here. Taxpayers, millions, went into a ridiculous company that just went belly up. And this isn't the first, and it won't be the last. And, well, it's going to come to an end pretty soon, because we're in currency collapsing debt, and all of this facade is just going to be, it's going to come tumbling down. So, yeah, nobody's going to be getting federal government money soon. I don't see how, when it all just tumbles down. But in the meantime, when it comes tumbling down, don't wonder what happened. Okay, so stay tuned, people.